Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It is September 11th, 2023, and we are in the book of 2nd Samuel. We're going to read chapter 1. All right, so 2nd Samuel, well, we said the book of Samuel in the Hebrew was one big long book. It's been divided into 1 and 2 in the Christian Bible. It's not a sequel, it's just the second half of this book. Whereas when you get to the New Testament, you see, First and Second Timothy, First and Second Thessalonians. Those are different letters written at different times. First and Second Samuel, First and Second Kings, First and Second Corinthians is just one big book that's been divided for us. In Samuel, it was divided at the death of Saul. So we have First Samuel that dealt with Samuel as the last of the judges. People wanted a king, just like all the other nations. That gave us Saul. So we transitioned from one form of spiritual government and domestic government of a judgeship to the kingship. Saul turned out to not be the king that God wanted, even though he was the God that the people asked for. And God moves us to David, and that's where we're really going to pick up the story of David is in 2 Samuel. David's not a perfect person, but he's seeking after God. When David finds out he did something sinful, he repents, mourns losses, treats people decently, whereas Saul was once he became king, he was spoiled, and it was all me all the time, and his focus was himself. Now, we get a sense as we start this that the people understood, all right, David is the enemy of Saul, but they thought, well, okay, well then that must mean Saul's the enemy of David, which isn't the case. David respected that Saul was king. David respected that, hey, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to be king after you, but you're king right now, and I'm going to do what you want. You are God's anointed. God anointed you, even though he took it away and gave it to me. He anointed you for a reason. And in this case, we see somebody that says, oh, hey, you know what? Well, I'm going to get a kudo from David if I go and tell him that I killed Saul and I took his crown for him and gave it to him. And he gets the exact opposite response from David, who says, how dare you lift your hand against God's anointed? And we saw on the two cases that David had to have killed Saul, he didn't do it for the same reason. And just to really drive that point in, we end this chapter with Saul singing a song about Saul and the death of Jonathan, and about how, this is not a happy day for anyone, especially me. This is, God's plan was for Saul to be the king and bring us as a nation closer to him, and that didn't happen. So we shouldn't be celebrating Saul died. We should be lamenting that Saul died. So let's go ahead and we're going to read 2 Samuel chapter 1. Now it came to pass after the death of Saul, when David had returned from the slaughter of the Amalekites, and David had stayed 2 days in Ziklag, on the third day, behold, it happened that a man came from Saul's camp with his clothes torn and dust on his head. So it was, when he came to David, that he fell to the ground and prostrated himself. David said to him, where have you come from? So he said to him, I have escaped from the camp of Israel. Then David said to him, how did the matter go? Please tell me. And he answered, the people have fled from the battle. Many of the people are fallen and dead, and Saul and Jonathan his son are dead also. So David said to the young man who told him, how do you know that Saul and Jonathan his son are dead? The young man who told him said, as I happened by chance to be on Mount Gilboa, there was Saul leaning on his spear, and indeed the chariots and horsemen followed hard after him. Now when he looked behind him, he saw me and called to me, and I answered, here I am. And he said to me, who are you? So I answered him, I am an Amalekite. He said to me again, please stand over me and kill me, for anguish has come upon me, but my life still remains in me. So I stood over him and killed him, because I was sure that he could not live after he had fallen. And I took the crown that was on his head and the bracelet that was on his arm, and have brought them here to my Lord. Therefore David took hold of his own clothes and tore them, and so did all the men who were with him. And they mourned and wept and fasted until evening for Saul and for Jonathan his sons, for the people of the Lord and for the house of Israel, because they had fallen by the sword. And David said to the young man who told him, where are you from? And he answered, I am the son of an alien, an Amalekite. So David said to him, how was it you were not afraid to put forth your hand to destroy the Lord's anointed? And David called one of the young men and said, "Go near and execute him." And he struck him so that he died. So David said to him, "Your blood is on your own head, for your own mouth has testified against you, saying, I have killed the Lord's anointed." Then David lamented with this lamentation over Saul and over Jonathan his son, and he told them to teach the children of Judah the song of the bow. Indeed, it is written in the book of Jasher. The beauty of Israel is slain on your high places. How the mighty have fallen. Tell it not in Gath. Proclaim it not in the streets of Ashkelon. Lest the daughters of the Philistines rejoice. Lest the daughters of the uncircumcised triumph. O mountains of Gilboa, let there be no dew nor rain upon you, nor fields of offerings. For the shield of the mighty is cast away there. The shield of Saul not anointed with oil. From the blood of the slain, from the fat of the mighty. The bow of Jonathan did not turn back, and the sword of Saul did not return empty. Saul and Jonathan were beloved and pleasant in their lives, and in their death they were not divided. They were swifter than eagles, they were stronger than lions. O daughters of Israel, weep over Saul. We clothe you in scarlet with luxury, who put ornaments of gold on your apparel. Now the mighty have fallen in the midst of the battle. Jonathan was slain in your high places. I am distressed for you, my brother Jonathan. You have been very pleasant to me. Your love to me was wonderful, surpassing the love of women. How the mighty have fallen, and the weapons of war perished. May God bless the reading of his word. May God bless you. Bye.